Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome to tonight's call, our live Zoom call. This is not recorded. We are going live on behalf of Partner Driven. Welcome to today's call. I do have our principal founder, Peter, here with me tonight, explaining, sharing the story of Partner Driven and how you fit in all this. Whether you're brand new, looking to get started in real estate, or if you've done a deal before, looking to level up, or really just want to scale this thing and make it a full-time income, there's definitely something in store here for you at Partner Driven. Can't wait to have you guys ask your questions. We'll do that towards the end. But meanwhile, please continue to turn on your cameras as we get started. Jamari, welcome to the call. Very popular name here at Partner Driven. You'll find out one of our top partners goes by the same name. Very successful with the company. Pamela, welcome to the call. Thank you for turning on your camera. Mike Jackson, welcome. Got a lot of folks tuning in tonight. If you haven't done so already, I highly recommend you grab a notepad. We're going to drop some nuggets tonight and really talk about some shortcuts when it comes to doing deals and what's kind of working today. I mean, yes, there's a fundamental principles on how to do deals, but after doing thousands of deals like our founder Peter, you tend to kind of find out what's working best. Regardless of where you are, regardless of market conditions. Yes, many people are excited that interest rates are hopefully dropping, right, Matt B? Come this month. But hey, regardless of that, how do you do deals? How do you find deals? And what's working today? With that being said, Pete, a lot of folks on tonight, a lot of people with the cameras on, and I'd love to just really just share with these people how they can make real estate a reality using this unique platform that you put together here called Partner Driven.
What's going on, everybody? Good evening. Good to see you guys. All right, we're going to get started here in just a minute. If you guys don't mind, for those of you that are on, and if you don't have your camera on, just click that on for me. And I only ask it from a personal perspective. It makes it so much easier to talk to a face instead of a blank screen. And that's all we're going to do today. We're going to talk. We're going to have a conversation. My goal is to share with you guys some information, uh, leave you with something that I think you all will find valuable. And then at the end, I just want to give you the opportunity to move forward in terms of, potentially partnering with myself and my team. So no pressure, no nothing. Let me.
Oh. Hey, Pete, I think you froze there for a second. Sure, he'll log back on here in a moment. While we are waiting for Pete to log back on, do me a favor. Where are you guys calling in from? Let's get used to the chat. That's how we're going to communicate throughout the evening as well. Some folks saying hello on there. Cheryl, good evening. Good evening, Sean. Good evening to you as well. Michael, you're out in Rittenhouse, New York. Okay, love it. Cheryl, you're in Florida. Dylan from Hickory, North Carolina. Amy in Newport, Richie, Florida. Great. Chelsea in Orlando, love it. We are all across the country. Kenneth from Spencer. And Kenneth, hey, welcome to the team. I know you're official as of late, correct? Welcome. And then who else do we have on here? I know Matt, you had someone that kind of just got started. Is he on tonight, Matt?
Not yet. He's running
Not
a
yet,
little late.
Guillermo. Okay,
Guillermo, yep.
Got it. Yeah, this call is mainly geared for people looking to partner with us, haven't got started yet. But we, every once in a while, we invite some current partners. Nat, I see you on the call. Nat, welcome. One of our other partners as well. And
Hi, Roland.
glad you're back. It's just nice to kind of hear things again sometimes, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So you're definitely welcome here. But for our partners, of course, we have the entire back office support staff. We have everything there for our partners, more videos, more access to the coaches. This is just a sneak peek into everything here, what we have to offer as far as the front end. Who else do we have here? We've got Jay Burrell from Michigan, Chicago, all across the country. Now, as we get Pete back on, you guys, what are some questions that you have lingering? Again, this probably is not your first time hearing from us. This is probably not your first time speaking to one of the advisors here, like myself. We have Bob, we have Matt, of course. Who else we have on the line? We have Sandy, Andy on the call. So a lot of advisors are here, that people that you're probably speaking with, maybe they invited you here personally. just so I have an idea, where are you in your journey now in real estate? And where is it you're looking to go? Where are you now in your journey? And where are you looking to go? Are you brand new, never done a deal? I just helped a new partner of ours get started prior to this call, and he literally spent $100,000 on coaching and training in the last couple years. And he had one very simple goal. He did not want to go back to work. Spoke with Pete and I today, got started, lifetime partner, and that's his main reason. He does not want to go back to work. He sees so many deals like we all do, but the biggest challenge is, how do you come up with the money? How do you come up with earnest money? How do you come up with the rehab money? How do you hope and pray that everything works out so at the end of it, you make enough to keep going, right? Pete, I saw you back on the line, just doing a little pre Q&A.
Yeah, I apologize. As you guys can see here, right here is a $6 trillion laptop that my T team encouraged I buy when the laptop that I'm on right now broke. After buying this $6 trillion laptop and giving it to my IT team, and after about a week of them taking everything off this laptop and putting it to that laptop, within 2 days, I found out the $6 trillion laptop has speakers that don't work. So now I have my $6 trillion laptop, but I still carry around my 70-year-old laptop that has speakers that work. And that's kind of a good way to ease into what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk to you about shortcuts today. Actually, I want to talk to you about one shortcut today. And this is the shortcut that I believe is the ultimate shortcut for those of you that want to do real estate investing. I also will tell you this, the shortcut I want to talk, and by the way, I'm going to ask one more time. For those of you that do not have your cameras on, please click them on. This makes it a lot easier for me to chat with you. I'm going to share with you a little bit about the shortcut because I just think it's going to leave a lot of value. Whether you ever do a deal with me or not, or partner with me or not, what I'm about to share with you is the number one reason why I got to be pretty darn successful in real estate investing. You know, flipping 4,000 deals, still very active and all this. But this will also help you guys. Like if you take nothing out of this, if we never see each other, talk again, we never partner on any deal, but you take what I'm about to show you guys today and you implement it in your life, I promise you, you're going to get further ahead. And so the best way for me to share with you guys my shortcut to success, share with you a little bit about my journey in real estate. You know, a lot of times people look at what I've done in this business and they take a snapshot view of where I am today. You know, thousands of transactions done, you know, flip properties in pretty much every single state in the United States, pretty much all the major cities, many of the side markets and this. And they look at me from that perspective. And then they come up with their own story of how I got here, right? Some people's story of how I got here is, well, he must have come from the right family. He must have had a lot of money. He must have had some kind of he must have that. People tend to build stories of other people who've achieved some kind of success. So what I want to do is I want to share with you the true story of what got me here and how 100% totally by accident I discovered in my journey to getting here what I'm about to share with you. And not only was this a game changer for me, but I could tell you everyone I've ever taught this principle with, too, that went along and followed it, I've never had any complaints. I've had people text me, I got it, I get it. I've had people stop me in places. Hey, Pete, I heard you talk about this a year ago, 2 years ago. And I've actually went out and I built my whole life around it too, my business life around it. And look at me now. So to best exemplify this, let me share with you my journey in the real estate investing business. So when I got started in real estate many, many years ago now, I had some advantages and I had some disadvantages. The disadvantages I had are the disadvantages we all have when we start in a new venture. I didn't know it all. I didn't have the right information. I didn't have the right people. I didn't understand the landscape. I really did not understand what it would take to become successful. By the way, that's one of the biggest problems almost every single person has in whatever journey they take is they just have no concept of what it takes to become successful. They got their ideas. They're like, oh, it takes this, this, and this, but no real concept. I always tell people, for those of us that have ever participated in sports, you think you're good until you go watch a professional athlete, and then you realize you have no concept. Like, you have no idea how hard they hit the ball, how accurate they are, how fast they are, how big they are. And it just really, really, really puts things in perspective. So I will tell you that one of the biggest issues why people never, ever, ever achieve success is, although they do start, they have no concept. Most people have absolutely zero concept of what it takes to flip. Forget 4,000 properties. Most people have no concept what it takes to flip even 10, 15, or 20 properties. Like, zero concept what it takes. They have an idea, you got to find a property, you got to do something with it, then you exit it and you make some money. But for those of us that are involved in this business, know it's a lot more complicated. And it's that lack of understanding, that complication, that really, really hurts most people. But when I got started, those were my disadvantages. The disadvantages we all have. Didn't know it all, didn't have it all, didn't have the right contacts, didn't understand the market I was in, and did not really truly understand the real estate investing business, yada, yada, yada. The advantage I had, which was not huge, but it was a decent size advantage, I had about $500,000. So when I got into real estate, the very first day I got started, I had about $500,000. I had it from another business I had just exited. And I could tell you, getting into real estate, especially back then with that kind of money, that was an advantage. It's an advantage today. Anybody that gets into anything with $500,000, you could say that's a cool thing. And so, because I didn't know what I didn't know, what I did is I utilized the one advantage I had, because that's what usually happens. Whatever advantage we tend to have, that becomes our crutch. That becomes what we rely upon. And when I got started, my crutch, the one advantage I had was that $500,000. So I heavily, heavily, heavily relied upon it. And how you rely upon it in real estate investing is you spend it. And so what I did, within the first month and a half, I bought 6 houses. I bought 6 houses because I could buy 6 houses. I had the capital. I had the money to buy them. At least I thought I had the money to fix it. I thought I had it. Like, I figured out that was step number one. And my partner back then, Jeff, and I remember one night we put everything into an Excel spreadsheet. I don't know if any of you have ever done this. Like, if you ever done real estate investing and you put your deals inside a spreadsheet, right? And on that spreadsheet, I still remember, out of those 6 deals on the Excel spreadsheet, was showing we were going to make about $1.2 million. Now, understand, that's a month and a half of work of basically buying some inventory, which back then I thought that was the tough thing. Man, I did the hardest part. I bought 6 amazing deals, amazing properties. So that's like, everybody tells me it's all about how you find a deal. It's all in the buy. So I thought, and Jeff thought, we were past the hard part. We thought we were on easy street. We were going to coast along. And so about a month and a half or 2 months in this thing, we had 6 houses. And we had an Excel spreadsheet showing us we're going to make $1.2 million. And I still remember this night like it was yesterday, because at that point, Jeff looked at me and said, Pete, when we're out of these deals, I'm out. That's all I want. If I can walk out of this business several months after getting into it with several $100,000, my wife's happy. My boys, he had 2 kids at that point. My boys are going to be happy. And most importantly, I'm going to be happy because this is not my dream and goal. He told me back then, he said his dream and goal, believe it or not, I don't know how, I've never met anyone since then like that. But his goal was to go back into, believe it or not, armed forces, which I respected. But he grew up as an Army kid. He was in an Army himself. He and I got to be friends over a period of time. We got into this business together, and in about 2 months after we got started, his dreams were made. He said, once we cash out, we make this 1.2 million. I take half, you take half, and I'm out. And if you project that conversation about 4 months into this business, 4 months afterwards, which would have put us 6 months into this business, I had lost everything at that point. I had lost the 6 properties. I had 100% depleted my $500,000. I had successfully been taken advantage by every single person that could possibly take advantage of me at that point. And so I did what any other successful entrepreneur would do at that point, right? I called my uncle and my aunt, Mr. and Mrs. Visa and MasterCard, and they were willing to lend me another $250,000 of cash advances. And that I proceeded to lose in the next 2 months. So 8 months after getting started in a real estate investing business, I had gotten in and lost 6 properties, and I was about $750,000 in debt. You see, what happened to me, and this leads me to my point of the ultimate shortcut in this business. What happened to me is I learned a very, very important lesson. To this day, I teach people. That's not my point for tonight, but I want to share what that point is. All of us here will have one common thing tonight. Everybody here somehow wants to be in real estate investing. Some of us are in it like myself. Some of you all are just wanting to be in it. But that is the only common thing we have among us tonight, is that we all want to become successful real estate investor, and everybody on here is at a different stage. And this is what I learned when I was down $750,000 and basically made myself destitute. I learned that the whole real estate industry, the investing part of it, revolves around the investor. I learned many years ago that everybody makes money as a result of us. I don't know if you guys realize this. We collectively keep this industry in business, right? The realtors make commission off of us on the buy, on the sell. The contractors make profit on us, legally or illegally, right? You know what I'm talking about there. The lending industry makes money off of us from the loans they make to us. The closing attorneys make money off of us. The inspectors make money off of us. City officials in the zoning departments and rezoning departments make money off of us. Every single person makes money in our industry off our backs, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if any of you ever realized that. And do you know who the last person that make money is in our world? Us. We're the last person to make money. Do you know to this day, after 4,000 deals, I'm still the last person to make money in the deal. And think about this, if you're in an industry where every single person lives off of you, every single person lives off of us. The contractor doesn't live off the closing attorney. The closing attorney doesn't live off a realtor. The realtor doesn't live off the inspector. Every single one of those lives off of us. And when people live off of you and they don't really know you, or they may know you, we are the most likely person to be taken advantage of in this business. No one's going to get rich off an inspector. No one's going to get rich off screwing a hard money lender. No one's going to get rich off a contractor. But a lot of people are going to get rich off of us and do every single day. And that is why I'm going to share with you a statistic that no one has ever heard of before unless you've ever heard me talk, and that is this. In our industry, less than 3% of us collectively as real estate investors ever become successful and make any kind of money worth talking about. We're supporting the whole industry. We have the whole industry on our backs. And when you have the whole industry on your back, you will be taken advantage of, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And that is where I found myself 8 months after being in this business. See, I thought it was the opposite. How a lot of you think it's the opposite, right? I thought everybody looked at me not from the perspective of sucking the blood out of me. I thought everybody wanted to keep me alive. I thought the realtor looked at me as a 10-year, 20-year player. I thought the contractor looked at me as a 10 to 20-year player. I thought my money guys looked at me like that. I thought every single person looked at me like that. Why did I think that? No reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever. I just thought it. And I thought if I thought myself as a 10, 20-year player, everyone around me is going to think of me as a 10. Does this sound familiar to some of you? But they thought of me totally opposite. They thought of me as a one-hit wonder. Why do you think they thought of me as a one-hit wonder? Because 99% of guys like me are one-hit wonders. That's how this industry works. That's why less than 3% ever become successful. Because let me tell you how the real estate investing world works. Let me tell you the trajectory. You're in and then you're out. Sorry. Now, you may hang around, you may attend some meetings, you may pretend you may fake the whole world out, how you're going to be successful. It's not reality. So because that's how everybody thought of me as a one-hit wonder, they did exactly what anybody would do with a one-hit wonder. They sucked as much blood out of me as possible. When the realtors, those 6 deals that I initially bought, I think 4 of them came from real estate agent, the same guy. He was shocked I was buying my 6th one. He thought he'd crush me after my first 1 or 2 or 3. But he kept on feeding the idiot that I was. And you see, when you don't know what you don't know, like I did not know that when Jeff, I had my business partner was Jeff, but Jeff was also the realtor bringing me the initial deals. I had no idea. Then when we were in one subdivision and he was showing me a house that he was telling me is worth $300,000, and then he proved it to me. And you know how he proved it to me? He drove out of that subdivision, went about 6 subdivisions down the road and said, see, in this subdivision, there's other houses for $600,000. I didn't know what I didn't know. I had no idea that's not a legitimate comp. I had no idea. When Tucker, the contractor, realized I was a first-time investor, which took him probably about 4 seconds, he knew how to read me right away. He did 2 things. He said, 1, what are the other people bidding on this house? I didn't know I showed him the bid. 45,000, 50,000, 55,000, whatever. You know what Tucker did? He said, I can get it done in $20,000. I didn't know what I didn't know. All Tucker needed to do was get my 20, right? That's all he cared about. He had no intention of fixing that house for 20. But what did I think? I thought Tucker looked at me as a 10, 20, 30-year player. I said, so I actually looked at him totally opposite. I looked at them as like, I'm so amazing. What a great, what a fortune that's taking place here in front of me. I found the best contractor in Atlanta and I'm just getting started. Everyone's having these houses done for 50 grand. I can get them done for 20 grand. I'm going to be a winner. Do you see? When you don't know what you don't know, you simply get taken advantage of. Listen to me, when people realize you have a finite life, and the reason we all have finite lives in this business, listen, this is important, is because most of us have finite resources to do this business with. We're not playing with bombs here. We're spending tens of thousands of dollars. And most people, they either run out of time or they run out of money. That's why most people get in and then get out. They ran out of time, or they ran out of money, or they run out of both. And so 8 months after getting into the real estate investing business, I found myself upside down, $750,000. All these people that sucked all that money out of me at that point realized they sucked all the money out of it, and they lost my number. Amazing. Overnight, my number got deleted from everyone and got blocked by everyone's phone. How the hell's that happen? They were on to the next schlep. I had no other options at that point. And it's at that point that I learned the most important lesson of my career, and that is the reason why I am thousands of deals completed since then. And the lesson I learned at that point was very simple. I ran into a guy's name was Barton. Barton was introduced to me by the only guy that didn't leave me back then. Like, all these other people left me, but I had a private money lender whose name is Bob, who, by the way, I still utilize today. But Bob, for some reason, saw something in me. So he didn't leave me totally destitute. He said, Pete, let me introduce you to a guy, a friend of mine. His name is Barton. He may be able to help you out. And the day I met Barton began my journey to first get back to zero. Because remember, I was 750 upside down. Was to get back to zero, which took me 3 years. And then a meteoric rise for the rest of my real estate career. And what was the thing about Barton that made it happen? And what was it that I learned from Barton that has now become my most powerful secret weapon that I teach others like yourself? Was it something magical he told me about real estate? Absolutely not. There's no magic to real estate. I promise you, there's no like sideline secrets that we're keeping from you. Was it something inspirational that he told me back then that just got me to be a superhero? No. It wasn't anything, nothing that anybody ever can come up with. But this is what I learned from Barton that became the most secret weapon, my secret weapon to this day. And that was this. The secret to success, and we're going to utilize real estate investing because that's what we're talking about. But the secret to success is nothing that I thought it was. See, I thought back then the secret was you have to have the most money, you got to work the hardest, you got to be the smartest, you got to be in the right market, you got to do the right technique and strategy. I thought like you just got to outwork your competition, right? Same thing everybody thinks, right? I learned from Bart that was not the secret to success. I learned the secrets to success. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, because this is it right here. The secret to success is your ability to align yourself with people that are more successful than you. You see, from the moment I met Barton, Barton never told me anything miraculous. It was, a matter of fact, mine and his relationship was kind of like a hamster on a wheel. He was telling me the same thing over and 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 over again. Now, the things he was telling me over and over and over again were the right things to do. But what I learned from him the most was that without someone like him, I was dead. I had proven to myself at that point, I was dead. I lost everything quick. I didn't have a slow death. I had a maybe, when you lose $500,000 in real estate from like zero within 5-6 months, even in real estate, that's quick. When you lose 6 properties within a couple months, like you have to really do something really stupid to do that. I did it. When every single person that comes into your world takes advantage of you, that takes a special skill. I must have had it. But what Barton told me, not told me, but taught me without telling me, is that the key to me getting out of the mess I was in has nothing to do with anything I brought to the table. Because see, what I brought to the table wasn't working. It wasn't working. It's the most asinine thing anybody could do is keep on doing the same thing over and over and think things are going to change. What Barton told me was that the key to everything is the ability to align yourself. Because see, let me explain to you how this concept works. When you're trying to do it yourself, like so many people in real estate investing, this is what happens. It's a very big business, a very complicated business, extremely complicated. Most people have no concept of just how complicated until they dive in and then they're crushed. Most people have no idea how expensive this business is in terms of how much money you really need. Not that you think you need, but you really need to become successful. Most people have no idea the time you got to put into it if you're going to do it by yourself. You think you know, but you have no concept. And so when you're doing it yourself, you're kind of right here. You're battling. How smart am I? How hard can I work? How early can I get up? How late can I stay? How much more can I study? How many more videos can I watch? How many more gurus can I listen to? How many? Listen to me. The problem with that concept is that you, listen to me. You are only smart enough. And I don't care if you spend 24/7 for the next 5 years listening and learning about real estate, you're only going to gain so much knowledge. You are not going to learn yourself into success. So when you're working on just you trying to figure it out, you bouncing from seminar to seminar, from webinar to a guru to a class, to a Facebook group, to whatever it is you're trying to gain the system with, you're only going to be able to retain so much and implement so much. But when you align yourself with a superstar, like Barton was a superstar, and when I aligned myself, the knowledge that he was able to impart upon me, by the way, for him, it was like that. Boom. It was like stupid knowledge. Like stupid, like because I was stupid. But what he was able to impart upon me and show me and teach me took me out of the realm of how smart am I? How hard am I willing to do? and he set me down a different path. And he said, just do this. And when I did that, it was lights out. It was absolutely lights out. I became, to a certain degree, unstoppable. And from that moment on, I did not become the smartest kid in real estate investing. I did not become the smartest real estate investor. As a matter of fact, to this day, I am not that smart at real estate investing. I guarantee you that the people on here tonight, some of you, if you go head to head with me on the knowledge side, may be smarter than me in this business. It didn't matter. I just knew enough of the right stuff to do. And when I did enough of the right stuff, that's all that mattered. And so from that point on, after I met Barton and got out of the mess I was in, took me 3 years, by the way, I told you, to get out of it, just to get to zero. I stopped looking at myself as a real estate investor. I mean, I am, I guess. It'd be silly for me to say I'm not. But from that point on, all I did is I chased relationships. I started aligning myself. And figure out, and through alignment, I progressed and I progressed and I progressed. I didn't study myself into success. I didn't work myself into success, although I worked very hard. I aligned myself to success. Because when you align yourself, ladies and gentlemen, you get out of the realm of how good you are, how smart you are, how much money do you have or don't have, how much experience do you bring to the table or don't bring to the table, are you in the right market or the wrong market? All that stuff that you think becomes important is out the door. Because then you truly sit on the shoulders of people more successful than you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you rise to success. And so I'm here to tell you, I'm going to bring this to a close. 2 more things I want to talk to you about. Number 1, I want to talk to you how if you align yourself with me, this will become the easiest way to do real estate investing, specifically flipping and short-term strategies you've ever been a part of. I have simplified this business for my partners to the level that no one else has, and to the level that none of you have ever seen. I've done that because I myself wanted to do more deals. And in order for me to do more deals, I had to get enough individuals like you all involved with me. Because in order to achieve my goals, my dreams, and my aspirations, I learned I had to open myself up to enough people to align themselves with me. And then it becomes a win-win model. So in my model now, when I partner with people, I and my team will do about 90% of that deal. And we're still going to split the profits with you 50-50. That's as good as it gets. If you got a partner that's willing to do 90 to 95% of all the work and you still make 50%, that is called a win, right? That is called a win. And that's what this is all about. So in my model, this is what we're going to do for you, for those of you that end up partnering with us. By the way, what I'm really proud about, my personal numbers, is now I have more partners across the United States doing more deals in more locations than I ever had. But the statistic I'm even more proud of than that is I have more partners doing multiple deals than we ever have. So what do I and my team bring to the table if you partner with us? The number one thing, and by the way, what you think is the number one thing is actually not the number one thing. Everybody wants to partner with myself and my team for one reason. Almost everybody wants to partner with myself for one reason. And you know what that is, right? The money piece. Because we put up all the money. That's important. It's not the most important. The most important reason why you should ever want to partner with me is for the last half hour of what we've been talking about. It's my experience. It's my experience. What I bring to the table from a knowledge perspective, an experience perspective, is priceless. You don't want to go through what I went through to learn what I've learned. Most people won't be able to do it. And most people don't have enough lifetime in them. So it's very interesting. It's like a catch-22. And I'll go through the whole model. But there's two parts of the model that are totally screwed up in what I do. I share it with you. I'll be honest with you. They're totally screwed up. They're inverse of each other. Among everything we do, I'm going to pick out these two parts. Almost everybody that wants to start with us starts for one reason. They put up all the money. Amazing. And you know what almost everybody battles us over? Oh, they do the training too? I don't need that. Oh, they do the coaching? I don't need that. If you find yourself that the reason you want to do this is because they put up all the money, but I don't need the rest, like I don't need the coaching and training, you got to ask backwards. The most important thing I bring to the table is my experience. It is the training and the coaching we provide here, among the 20 other things. But those are the two things that stand out the most. The money, which is what everybody gets in for, and what everybody wants to do the least out of all the pieces is the training. It's the opposite. The most important is the training and the experience. That's the priceless thing. That's the priceless thing. What I could show you how to do with a real estate deal will make your head spin. How do I have more partners than ever doing more deals? And an overwhelming majority of my partners never even did a deal before they met me. And they don't live across the street from me. And I can't see them. We can't go look at deals together. We're doing this blind. It's because of the experience. It's way more valuable than the money piece. It's the experience that makes this whole machine work. So let me run through this quick. The number one thing we bring to the table is experience when we partner with you. The most important piece of that experience as it relates to you as a partner is we know how to find and identify deals. I guarantee you, even if you think you're out there right now hustling, putting deals, wholesaling, think you're wholesaling when you're just moving paper from one person you found to another, that's not wholesaling. It's definitely not how you find fix and flips. I can guarantee you that. So the biggest part of the experience we carve out, because that is your responsibility to help us find deals. We're going to do that first. We're going to show you how to find incredible and amazing deals. We're going to run them through our due diligence / inspection piece and machine. That's critical because that'll save you a bunch of time wasting on wrong deals and green light the right stuff. As soon as you bring a deal in, you get under contract, with the whole team jumps in with you and we walk that deal all the way through. I got a national closing team that'll close these deals for us. You don't have to worry about closings, chasing paperwork, files. None of that. We'll put up all the money, earnest money, down payment money, purchase money, fix up money, carrying costs, and all this. We'll also assume all the liability. If something ever goes wrong, it's on us. By the way, that makes this up near that. This is why this is the best thing in the United States for people that want to do deals. You have 100% of the upside and zero, not even 1% of the downside. We got a construction team that could be deployed across the United States if you need help fixing it. And then we have exit people that'll exit that strategy. And we do multiple strategies, all short-term strategies, because short-term strategies make you the most money. We do fixed slip, wholesale, hotel, pre-list, pre-market, pre-sale, all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that. So when you're partnering with me, the key is to make money as quickly as possible and keep on making the money as quickly as possible, as much as possible, utilizing short-term strategies. What do we expect you to do? We expect you to help us find deals. That's the beginning and the end of your responsibility. You can get involved way beyond that in any deal. You could help us fix it, blah, blah, blah. But the most important piece of what you're going to do with this is you're going to help us find deals. That's your responsibility as a partner. That's really the model. I could sit here and I could tell you a lot more. But it's not the most important thing. I taught you my ultimate key to success, and now I want to share with you something personal. And that is why I am building this business. Because in the end, if you could find your why, it's lights out. It's like people that find themselves in burning buildings and they see an exit. It's lights out. It don't matter what the hell's in front of them. A wall they got to bust through, a window they got to jump through, like that. The why, when the why is big enough, nothing else matters. Unfortunately, most of us have been beat up so much in life that the why, you don't even know what your why is. Well, let me share with you what my why is in this business. And maybe that'll jar you in figuring out what your why is. Because once you lock in, it's done. It's a done deal. So let me show you my why. I got 5 kids. I got a 26, 24, 23. I got a 3 and a 2-year-old. And just like it was 20 minutes ago, I could see my older kids' highlights in life. And for those of you that are parents here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the 2 and a 3-year-old are still little. They live with us, all this. But my 26 to the 23 and the 24, just like it happened 10 minutes ago, I could see their highlights. I could see the most amazing. But you know why? Because they now become my highlights. They're my highlights. I could see when my son pitched on television and ESPN had him when he was 13. And what happened when he was called to pitch in an altercation and he literally had 3 up, 3 down. I still remember that moment. I remember when my daughter won world championships in her sport, and I didn't even know she had a shot until my wife one night calls me. He's like, Pete, turn on, ESPN. Now, see, when my kids were growing up, they were all pretty good at sports, but I did the boys, and my wife did the daughter, and I knew they were at a big event, and they said, and my wife called back then, it's like, turn on ESPN. And as I shared a story with you, I literally have shivers because I turned the TV on, and all of a sudden in this big ballroom, like, and now it's awards time. From China, number 10. From, I don't even remember, from Russia, number 9. From California, number 8. And they count down and count down and count down, and like from number 3 in the world from New Zealand. And number 2 and number 1 from Cumming, Georgia. And it was my daughter's team. I remember where I was sitting when that happened. I remember when my little one was playing football and he was the smallest guy in the field. And I still remember a play where he tackled literally 2, not 1, but 2 of the biggest guys on the other side. I remember standing with my dad, watching this. And see, I could remember my kids' highlights. But I also remember the lowlights. I remember when one of my kids was literally on his deathbed 3 times in his life. I remember getting calls from the hospital at 2 in the morning saying your kid is so rowdy that we have 2 sheriffs here. This is the hospital. This is where it's supposed to help you. And I got a call at 2 in the morning saying, come get your kid, your sick kid, out. And I remember driving to that hospital at 2 in the morning with 2 sheriffs with guns on each side, and my oldest son in between, and him getting in the car, and me literally not knowing what to do. And I remember getting calls where they didn't know where he was. And I remember looking for him one night in the destitute road with no lights, no nothing, 2 or 3 in the morning, absolutely nothing. And by the fate of God, I still don't know how this whole thing worked out, but I was driving down that road looking for him, and he was standing in the middle of that freaking road. Had it not been me, but another car, he would have been run over, and he had no idea where he was at. Ladies and gentlemen, I could tell you my kids' lives like they just happened right in front of me today. What I cannot tell you is how my businesses were doing during all the highlights and all the lowlights. I have no idea during any of these stories if I was doing a deal or losing a deal, if my business was doing good or bad. Not a single story, and I have a ton more I could share with you. I cannot correlate, okay, during that moment, here's what the business was doing or how much money I was making. Not one. I cannot correlate my business to anything. None of those highlights or lowlights. So why am I sharing this story with you? Why am I ending right here, right now, with my why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I was there. I was present. I was available. I was living it with my kids. And see, now I got a 2 and a 3-year-old downstairs here. And I intend to live my life with them also and be there through good times and bad times. And I sure as hell am not going to let money dictate my life, what I can or cannot afford. I sure as hell am not going to let a boss be in charge of my calendar and my schedule. I sure as hell am not going to have a third party tell me if I could take some time off or if I can't. Or if I could go somewhere or I can't go somewhere. Or I could be there for people that matter or don't matter. The reason I built this business, ladies and gentlemen, my big why, has nothing to do with the material stuff. And it's cool. I'm an hour away from my boat, parked by my lake house. I got a car, a couple of them to kill for downstairs. All shit. I give it up like that. Just like that. But for me, my why has always been freedom. Be in control. Not have to chase. Not have to ask permission. Not have to be the guy at the bottom looking up saying, one day I wish I will, I wish I could. And so today I'm going to tell you the obvious. Do you have everything you need to have to make a decision about whether or not you want to partner with me on deals? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you have your reason why. If there's something you want bad enough, you and I and my team, we're going to go battle for it. We're going to go battle for it. I'm going to meet you right there. I won't let you down. It's not going to be the easiest thing you've ever done. But what is the easiest thing you've ever done? It's not going to be without challenges. But what has been without challenges? But every single person here knows this business works. And during those 3 years when I was losing in real estate, when it took me 3 years to get to zero, there's 2 things I never quit on. I never quit on me. Everybody else did. I never quit on me because I knew I was the last one standing. If I were to quit, there would be nobody else to support. My team was out. Everybody around me was gone. I had nobody to believe in me. I was the only thing I had. So I never quit on me. And I never quit on this business. I knew it worked. I knew people were doing it. And I knew if somebody could do it, I can too. And what I'm telling you here tonight is this. If you got a big enough reason that you want to be successful, we're going to make it possible for you. We're going to make this thing possible for you. We're going to make this complicated, sophisticated, overbearing business, and we're going to strip it down. We're just going to get you focused on that 1, 5, or 10%. We're going to help you do that. And we're going to go do some deals. And then we're going to split some profits. So here's how it works from this second on. Some of you listen to me here tonight, and you're like, well, that's a bunch of BS. I sure as hell don't want to be around that guy no more. And I sure as hell don't want to do this business no more. I appreciate you being here. Some of you guys are kind of like me. You're not the rah-rah person. You're not the jump up and down. You're not hooray. And you're not high-fiving the person next to you saying, oh, we found our gold. But some of you guys inside kind of come to a decision. And the decision is this. done deal. Like, done deal. You're going to do this. And so for those of you that find yourself in that done deal mode, I'm going to share with you what your next step is with myself and my team. Roland's going to throw a link up inside chat. And it's nothing more but schedule a call. Not even schedule a call, request a call. So for those of you that want to take that next step, and the next step is really, you got to connect with. Some of you are already talking to us, but you're like, okay, let's go. Fill out that schedule a call link or request a call. Some of you are just getting started. You've never talked to anybody on my team, but you're like, done deal. I'm the guy he's talking about. I'm the lady he's talking about. Then fill out that request a call. And all that's going to do is get us into a further discussion and a further conversation. And some of you are like, I've done enough talking. Let's go. Fill out that link. So I'm going to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoyed this. Every time I share my model, you know I believe in it. And you know I'm all in. So the reason I love doing these like this, I just resell myself every night on what the amazing stuff that we're doing. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to ask Roland to stay on for a couple minutes, maybe answer a couple basic questions. He's going to keep the link on for another couple minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, I do want to tell you, I really enjoyed it. Beyond that, I loved it. I love sharing what we do. And so I want to tell you on behalf of myself and really the team behind me that makes all this possible, I appreciate you giving me a precious hour of your precious day. I hope to get to know a number of you. And I'm sure I'm going to be telling some of you these amazing words here very shortly. And that is this: welcome. Welcome to the next chapter, to the rest of your life. Good night. God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks for being here as always. Appreciate you and the time that you have. For everyone else, please click the link. We'll be sure to speak with you tonight, if not tonight, no later than tomorrow. And hopefully you got a flavor of Peter, not just a guy behind 4,000 deals, but a guy that actually wants to help you win. And hopefully you've caught that at some point, after being so successful, it's not even about the money anymore, but rather about the deals. And Peter always says, every deal that we have, yeah, people make money. Yes, it's a win-win, but behind every deal is a partner. Is a partner changing their lives. It's a partner making money. Obviously, we can make money in real estate. That's why we're all here. If you have any quick questions, I'll be sure to answer them. Take this opportunity to ask any tactical questions that you may have. If not, our advisors are equipped to answer those. We have Andy, Bob, Sandy, David popped on here for a little bit. We're all very seasoned investors and have been in real estate for quite some time. Sean, I see your text. Call you if you want, but I think you have a call with Sandy, if I'm not mistaken, right? Everyone else, if you're speaking to someone already, that's okay. Click the link. We want to know who is in attendance tonight, kind of put you ahead of the line. But I will take one or two questions if you guys want to raise your hand or just pipe up. Is that you speaking, Chris?
Yes, I can't. Where's the link at? I'm kind of new at the Zoom thing. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Chris, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're a part of the program already, aren't you not? Or am I
Yes.
mistaken? Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, well, you have a different link for current partners, so thank you for
Okay.
being on here. Anyone else who's not a partner yet and that may have one or two quick questions, I could definitely stick around for about 5 minutes or so to help answer.
Hi, yeah, I've got a question.
Please.
So is there a buy-in cost for this, the coaching and everything? Is there a buy-in before we then would do any deals?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like Pete mentioned, there is a coaching and training component to what we do, 100%. What makes us different? We are the capital. We are the capital. So yes, there's definitely an initial buy-in, a lot less than any earnest money that you do on your own, and we definitely have options for many many people. So click the link. We'll kind of go through all of them, and we'll see what's best for you, if any at all, if any at all. Um, Let me drop the link again one more time. I typically have someone in the back helping me, but I'll be sure to multitask and drop it now. Any other questions? What is the link for current partners that may have been away for a while? I'm assuming you were a former partner that has been away for a while. I will reach out to you. I think I found you in our system, so we'll be sure to connect after that. Do you need an LLC? Not necessarily. Not at all. Not at all. Um, if it's highly recommended, but at the same time, at the end of the day, you just tell us who to cut the check to, right? When we split profits 50-50, are we sending it to Luis Sanchez? Are we sending it to Jamari Watkins? Or are we sending it to Jamari's real estate company? Jamari's Buys Houses LLC. So you just tell us who to send a check to. That's all we care about. Now, Jay Burrell asks, what do we mean when we cover 90 to 95% of the deal? What that means is as far as work, what it takes to get this deal to fruition. Pete mentioned that he's built a system that allows our partners, people that we work with, an opportunity to focus on what matters most in this business, which is finding deals, sourcing deals. Everything else in the back end, we handle for the most part. Now, like Pete also mentioned, you can be as involved in that as much as you want. We have some partners who are so involved, they pick out paint colors, fixtures, and that's great. But just keep in mind, depending on your goal, if you're looking to make this a real income, you've got to keep the main thing the main thing. You got to focus on what's going to move the needle of your business forward, which is finding deals. There's a big difference between working on your real estate business and in it. And oftentimes, many of our newbie investors get caught up in working in the business. Nothing wrong with that, right? If you're a contractor on this call and you want to do some of the rehab work, great. We'll work with you there. We have a partner in Crocker, Missouri, did about 10 deals in 1 year, which is amazing. He did all the rehab work. Great. But here's what we told him. Don't expect to do 20, 30, 40 the next year because he's involved in every single transaction as far as doing the deal, as far as swinging the hammer. Nothing wrong with that if that's the goal. But for many people that come to us, they're looking to scale. They're looking to do more deals. They're looking to be an owner of a business, not an operator. So hopefully that makes sense. Are there any financing costs in the deals? No, the moment you become a partner, literally Peter handles all the finances, and how he funds that combination of things, his capital. Sometimes our partners who've done very, very well, they come into the deal as well. The bottom line is this: the moment you partner, everything else that has to do with the deal, buying it, earnest money, proof of funds, carrying costs, everything we handle from A through Z. Let's see what else we have here. I could probably be on for another half hour, but I'll be sure to maybe take one or two more. Do y'all work in any market or have any specific markets y'all prefer? The answer is no. Going back to that gentleman who's done about 10 deals in 1 year, he's in a small market with a population of 1,000 people. Most investors wouldn't touch that market. But again, with us, it's all about the deal. There's no minimum, there's no maximum. All we care about are the margins of a deal. Does the deal make sense? Can we add value? Can we make money? More importantly, can we sell it at the back end? Because remember, we're here for quick exits. Buy, fix, and sell. We have to make money on the deal so we can all generate a profit. We're not here to buy and hold. We're not here to help build your Airbnb portfolio. We're not here to subdivide land. No, no, no. We keep it very, very simple. Buy, fix, sell. But yeah, Sean, typically we're in all states. We have partners all across the country for that fact. What if a deal is sitting at the title company? What if a deal is sitting what does that mean? Like an opportunity there, Amy? Is that what you mean by that? Santiago, I talked to Andy.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Amy.
I mean that I already did the contract with the seller, and it's I'm waiting on I'm trying to find an end buyer, so it is
Okay.
already currently at the title company. Is that
Yeah,
something
yeah.
you would look at?
We had before. Yeah, we had before. I mean, obviously, numbers got to make sense. We don't want to be behind the 8 ball on any deal, right?
No.
But yeah, we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sounds good.
Now, the goal, Amy, is to have 10 of those going on at the same time, right? So
Well, I
that way, if
got
one falls
5.
off, you got 5. Well, hey, we're halfway there. We're halfway there, right? Anyhow,
Yeah.
folks, I appreciate the questions. Appreciate you guys being on here. I'm pretty sure there's some questions I may have missed. I apologize. I'm doing my best to read them as quick as I can. Click the link. Again, we have advisors here: Sandy, Bob, David, Andy, Matt, guys who are all have been in industry for quite some time, very knowledgeable. Those are the only folks that we allow to be advisors here to help you guys out. Having said that, on behalf of Partner Driven, thank you for being here. Hey, it's September 9th. We still have plenty of time to get a deal or two done before the end of the year, right? And allow us to help you accelerate the process. That's all we do here. Let's take your 5-year goal and do it in 2 years. Let's take your 10-year goal and do it in 5 years. All the while, not risking your credit and capital to do so. Having said that, folks, again, thank you for being here. Have a beautiful night, and we'll talk to you guys soon.